the home of the three Ys: diversity, creativity, and unity. From graffiti on every wall to bodegas sitting on every corner, Bushwick has a taste of its own and has been one of New York's pinpoint places to visit. Not just a neighborhood, but a community made up of different cultures from people all over the world. We interviewed the people of Bushwick, the new and the old, to see how gentrification has either affected them or given them a new beginning.
Oh my god, yeah, my neighbor is very good. They're like my friends, like my family. Our restaurant is very popular. It's the oldest restaurant in the neighborhood, that's why.
I've been in Bushwick for, say, 10 years. I love my customers. My customers are good. They're polite. But I get all of them. I get the old ones with the new ones. So yeah, they really think there's something here, but there's nothing. What are they gonna do when the train goes away? They're already panicking.
A lot of landlords anti-family, pro-roommate. The downside to that is obviously it gives families a harder time to move in. But what landlords don't realize is that when they rent to roommates versus family members, roommates tend to split up after a year, 12 months, and then they have to re-rent the apartment. They have to face a vacancy rate where a family is typically long-term. So yeah, it's been a lot of changes.
Starting in 2013, Bushwick began to change. Gentrification began to spread across Bushwick, bringing new buildings along with new residents. Due to Bushwick's original cheap prices, the demand for apartments grew. As the populations expanded, new apartments and condos were built, and the prices rose tremendously. This caused an issue for people who have been living there before the gentrification started, and they are no longer able to afford the high prices, forcing them to move out of the place they call home.
This restaurant, like more than 6 months. Yeah, I love the neighborhood. I used to live in Harlem before that, and I moved here like almost 1 year from now. So yeah, a lot of young people, party. I love graffiti, I love art, and I think Bushwick is a good environment for this. And everybody is nice here. I'm working on Manhattan too, and I can see the difference between here and Manhattan, how people act, how people are, how people behave, when they order something. Or here you can see the different people are more nice here in Manhattan.
The reason I opened up here and not somewhere where there's predominantly a Muslim or Pakistani brown community is because this place just fell into my lap. I was just exploring, and it happens to be available, and that's it. Everybody has asked me, like, why did I open up so far away from the main crowd in the city? I like to take, it's true that I like to take risks, and I open up somewhere that's really, really far away.
like the idea of thrifting because you pay less for an item as opposed to if you go to Macy's. Like here you can buy a fur for $50. You can buy a rabbit jacket, a mink full length for $300. You go to Macy's or something like that, you're paying at least 2 G's. So I mean, people like the idea of like you're buying it at a lot cheaper of a rate. The conditions are pretty good because we don't sell really crappy stuff. Like they're usually in really good condition. More and more people are into it, and no one wants to buy really expensive things anymore because you don't need to. A lot of tourists too. You do get a lot of tourists coming in from different parts of, a lot from Europe, like, or in Japan actually. You get a lot of Japanese, Chinese people, a lot of French. It's definitely changed. Like there's more people. You get a lot more young people than you did before. As you see a lot more like Latinos, now it's definitely changed where there's more different kinds of people coming around here. More people moved around, the prices have changed. Even the businesses that are around are different. Like they're not the same type of businesses that you saw 10 years ago. I like it more now than I did 10 years ago. 10 years ago you couldn't walk down that block without feeling sketchy, and now you can walk it like at midnight, it doesn't change anything. I don't mind hanging out around here. There's bars, there's delis, there's coffee shops, really good coffee shops. That back then all you got was like the cheap $1 bodega coffee, which isn't always the best. So and if you can walk in an area that you couldn't walk in before, that's obviously an improvement. For the people that did live around here, it is, I guess to them it might be a negative change because one, prices went up.
I've lived here in Bushwick for 8 years. I moved here 8 years ago because it was cheap and I was able to support my family. I noticed Bushwick has changed a great deal since I've been here. There's more people, more stores. It's beginning to look more and more like Manhattan. Everyone says that Bushwick is the new Manhattan, but I don't think that it is. I think that Bushwick is just the new Bushwick.
Touch the ceiling, monks, let's